By the end of this video, I hope that we can clear up whether condo living or home living is the right move for you. Hey, it's Maddie Markshirk with the Beatty Westerland team at Premier Sotheby's International Realty. I'm coming at you from the office today. We've got lovely Gulf of Mexico views. Southwest Florida is such an incredible place to live, but a lot of people tend to wonder what is best for them, whether they should buy a condo, townhome, or a standalone home. There are endless options from high rises to villas, low-rise condos, attached villas, detached villas that you can choose from here in Southwest Florida. Basically, we're gonna break down the pros and cons of owning a home down here versus the pros and cons of owning a condo down here. Let's just jump right into it with the 5 pros of owning a home versus a condo. Number 1, you will get less noise from neighbors. You're gonna be a little more private, which is incredible. If you think about condo living, you're kind of living with everybody else right next to each other. You're passing people down in the guest parking. If you're looking for a little more quiet, peaceful, serene lifestyle, buying a house is probably the right move for you. You have more privacy, again, especially if you're on, say, a first floor condominium and one side of the condo overlooks a parking lot. You definitely will have a little less privacy opposed to even a second floor condo or a home that is situated away from a guest parking space. Number 3, typically there are less rental restrictions when you own a home. This applies mostly to non-gated communities. There are a lot of gated communities in Southwest Florida. A lot of people are looking for investment purchases, and owning a home that isn't in a community is typically going to be your best bet to get a little more freedom with renting. That way you can have weekly rentals. A lot of times people want to come down for a week versus a minimum of 30 days, for example. A lot of condos and homeowners associations in gated communities have these restrictions, and it's for a reason. It's so there's not random people coming in and out of the community all the time. Number 4, if you own a home, you probably get the opportunity to put in a pool or have your own private pool. It depends on the size of your property and the lot. A condo, however, you're gonna have a community pool, which isn't ideal for some people. Number 5, a lot of times homes come with a garage people are looking for and think is super necessary when they're buying a property. They have special cars that they want to keep covered. The heat is such a killer down here in Southwest Florida that you definitely want to take that into consideration. Condos, however, typically have open guest parking or maybe a carport. Not ideal for those that have special cars or motorcycles, even if you want the opportunity to have a little additional storage for bikes and that sort of thing. Again, there's definitely townhomes, villas that have garages, but if that's a priority number 1, it might be your safest bet to just look at a single family home. Moving into the cons of owning a home down in Southwest Florida, the biggest one that I have to touch on is the insurance, roof, flood insurance issues that arise specifically in this area because of the hurricanes that have occurred. Especially if you are a first-time home buyer or somebody looking to get a loan or mortgage, flood and house insurance is very, very important. A lot of lenders will not allow someone to borrow money if they don't have flood and home insurance. Well, after the hurricane, specifically our last one, Hurricane Ian, a lot of companies have dropped customers or will charge astronomical rates. So that can be a huge, unfortunate aspect of buying a home down here. If you think about condos, however, condos, when you move into them, they have the condo and flood insurance necessary when you move into it. Although those rates may increase, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have this insurance when you move in. There are definitely different situations, and I am not somebody to give advice on lending or insurance or anything like that, but a lot of times condos are your best way to avoid those challenges and hassles that come along with living in Southwest Florida. Number 2, if you're not looking to upkeep or maintain a lawn or gardens, a house is definitely not for you. That's a huge con of owning a home down here. Additionally, with it being so dry down here, there's often a lot of upkeep necessary, as well as water, and a lot of people are only here part-time. So if you're living here part-time, a condo may be in your best interest if you are not interested in hiring someone to upkeep your lawn and all the maintenance that surrounds owning a home in general as well. There are a lot of homes that are in communities, however, that do have the landscaping and the water and the maintenance included in the homeowners associations. But if you're looking for a standalone house in Southwest Florida, that's something you want to keep in mind. All right, we're moving already on to the condo pros. There's a whole lot of them, especially if you're living here part-time. Number one, you'll be living close to your neighbors. When you have people looking out for your home, especially if you're not here full time, it just is an extra added sense of reassurance. I live in a condo and I pass at least 3 of my neighbors every single day when I go in and out. And if something were not quite right, it would be something that I would look into and reach out to my fellow condo owners that live nearby. Additionally, a lot of these condo communities are gated as well, so that's an extra sense of security. That doesn't mean that there's homes in certain communities that are gated as well, but a lot of times these condos don't have some sort of security. Number two, the landscaping is usually covered and maintained. This is great if you're not interested in handling all that stuff. If you are, by all means, go for it. But a lot of people that are coming down here for a few months of the year are not interested in landscaping and keeping their lawn nice and worrying about the gardens. Number three, there's a little more sense of community living in condo communities as well. As I said, you're passing people more often. A lot of times condos have their own community pools or their own activities that you can go to, so owning a condo is super appealing in that sense if you're looking for a little more sense of community. Number four, the opportunity of living in a condo, second floor and higher. You can avoid flooding from hurricanes in most scenarios. If you were to own a first floor condo or a home, you may have a higher chance of running into flooding issues and damage down the road if there's any hurricanes that do occur. Number five, this could be a con to some people, but most people it would be a pro. There is continuous inspections and safety checks that have to be done on an annual basis or biannually, whether it's duct cleaning or checking the fire alarms work. This can be a bit of a hassle. You have to let people into your home. So some people don't like that and like to just monitor that stuff on their own. But in condo associations, the law typically requires people to come in and just make sure everything is operating as necessary, just for the safety of the whole condo building. All right, now we're gonna move on to the cons of owning a condo in Southwest Florida. Number one, a lot of times condo association dues can be kind of high. This is for maintenance and repair and everything that goes into like insurance, the roof. These fees tend to add up and you have to pay them quarterly or monthly, sometimes annually. A lot of times these dues are constantly increasing with inflation, different rates. It's very rare for these condo dues to go down. We typically see a steady increase year after year. Number two, the neighbors are close, and we've discussed this, but it can be a bit of a pain if you have, say, upstairs neighbors that tend to wear their heels upstairs. I live on the second floor and I have neighbors downstairs, and I hate to admit I do hear some TVs, alarms in the morning that tend to go off for a very long time before I would like them to. Some shouting, you might overhear some conversations or smell some cigarette smoke from neighbors that are on their own personal property. They're on their own lanai. So that's one con, just having the close proximity of these neighbors. You never really know who you're gonna get. You can hope for the best, and a lot of times you can get really great neighbors, but you never know. Number three, potential assessments. So this goes back into the condo fees. If they are planning to do a renovation for the community, if they have to get a new roof put on, a lot of times big assessments can come. Who's gonna pay for it? The condo homeowners. There's no way around that. Additionally, there is a new law coming in 2025 that all condo owners should be aware of. Condo buildings 3 stories or higher are requiring owners to put aside more money for big major obstacles and repairs needed down the road. This is not your cosmetic, carpeting, painting, but this is for more serious issues to ensure the safety of the buildings. This might be electrical, plumbing, floors, foundation, concrete restoration, roofs, impact windows. Those are the things that are required to be put aside more money so these repairs can be handled if necessary down the road. This could turn out to be a lot of extra money. Ultimately, it is, I think, for the safety of the owners of the building, but it's just something to keep in mind down the road. You may have to fork over a certain amount of money for any of these things that may not be structurally sound. If you're looking into buying a condo, you might want to look at more newer construction. That kind of wraps up everything that I wanted to discuss. The pros of living in a home versus living in a condo. They're different for everybody, and I can understand why anybody would want to live in a home or a condo. It totally just depends on your preferences and what your lifestyle is like. Anyways, I hope this helped answer some of your questions. If you have any interest in the Southwest Florida real estate market, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you and educate you in this area. I think it's important for everybody to be as educated as possible when they're buying a home, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching.